After a decade of intensive attempts, Ukraine has finally succeeded to have an inland waterway law based on EU standards. What are the first measures you would take to revive the sector in your new capacity as the Deputy Minister of Infrastructure, Mr. Vazkov?
First of all, it's necessary to point that the law about the internal water transport, it's a first step. It's maybe the most important steps and it's very good that we adopted this law based on the European standards, but ahead we should do a lot of additional works. I will remind that the law will start to work since 1st of January of the next year, and before this period the government Ministry of Infrastructure should prepare and accept around 40 additional acts of legislation, like decision of the government, like orders of Ministry of Infrastructure, etc., etc. Around 40 additional documents which will implement the norms of the law. And for the moment it is the main task of the new ministry team, and together with the business, together with the European Business Association, with the other parties involved in this carriage, we are preparing the appropriate acts of legislation. So this now is task number one. What is important, what we should receive as a result? We should receive the rules at the river which will attract the business to develop the carriage of the cargoes, passengers, and to invest and to develop the whole river infrastructure. It's our main task. Again, what we received by adoption of the law. The law fixes the clear rules of the future of internal water transport. According to the law, the internal waterways are free of any taxes, and the ship owners, charterers, cargo owners, they will not pay anything for the use of the river. It is very important for the investors because for today it's necessary to pay for the locks transporting, it is necessary to pay for the bridge opening, it is necessary to pay some port and channel dues in the port of Kherson and Mykolaiv region. According to the new law, everything will be free of charge from one side. From another side, the state is responsible for the development and for the support of the present shipping characteristics of the Dnipro. So it should be a special fund, financial fund should be adopted, and this fund will be the source of...
You mean a state fund?
State fund, yes. Source of the dredging for the support of the locks, etc., etc. So for the moment it is not clear fixed, and due to this reason 30 years the state has a problem with drafts, with the condition of the locks, which by the way last 2 years, thanks to again to European support, received some financial sources, but it's not enough in order to make full reconstruction, renovation, and to keep them in the safe condition. So we have the clear rules, and again no any charges for use of the river from the state to ship owners will have positive effect for the development of the use of the river as for the cargoes, as for the passengers.
Another key priority for your ministry is obviously having highly trained personnel. We were wondering whether capacity building extends not only to the current personnel, but maybe you can also open the locks, let's say, to also the younger generation. Maybe recent graduates of transport universities, or I don't know, students from vocational schools that would be maybe interested in working in the sector, in inland waterway sector.
we hope so, because if we will have the growth of this market, the growth of this market, of course, will attract additional companies. It will be necessary to find new employees, and due to this reason, we are absolutely sure that the number of employees and young generation as well will also attract additional students. In case we will receive additional players at the river, additional terminals, all these steps will require additional employees. So the market will create a new working place. It's a natural way.
Why having a solid inland waterway transport sector would be beneficial, let's say, for the public at large, for the citizens? What are the benefits for them?
We should move the cargoes from the roads and passengers from the railway, because in case of modern legislation, the river transport is more competitive, talking from the economical side and from environmental as well. So due to these two points of view, the river transport has benefits. And also let's talk about tourism as well. It's very serious potential to use the river on new tourist routes. It's another question, yeah, but it's also almost a lot of perspective in this direction we have. So we can see now the river, almost no fleet. Yeah, no fleet.
Yeah, why?
A lot of cars. Yeah, but in another situation in Holland or in Belgium, yes, and Germany. Why? Because we need a new vehicles. Right? We need new ships, because you can see a lot of them, but staying at the berths, but they're many years old. In order to receive a new fleet, modern fleet, the state should propose to some motivation to the business, yeah, to the business. If the business will receive free of charge river, it can be more attractive to invest to the new fleet. New fleet will attract new passengers. It can be established new tourist routes. If we are talking about the passengers, of course, we already said that it's environmental safety, yeah, and financial attractive, and from the tourist side is also perspective. I think that these points, the main things why it can be interesting for the citizens and for the business. The main task from the government is to make motivation for business to invest to the shipping and the river, fleet and infrastructure. Of course, it will not be within 1 day or even 1 year that it will be growth 5 times.
It's a long-term process.
Of course. But it's very important to start this strategy, and I think that in the middle perspective, we will receive serious growth as for the cargoes, as for the passengers.